Hey, hello everyone. Today I am discussing model design. By the way, I am Christian Esrolian. So let's start. So model design consists some topics such as conceptual model, selection of computer code, model geometry, grid, and boundary array, model parameters and boundary conditions, initial conditions, and stresses. So I will discuss it one by one para mas masabtan. So let's start with conceptual model. So conceptual model is a simplified representation of the groundwater system, outlining how water flows, where it is stored, and how it interacts with the surrounding environment. It includes features like recharge areas, aquifers, discharge zones, and flow directions. So it could be 3D, 2D, and 1D. But mas prefer na ko ang 2D guys, kaya mas napadali niya ang model and na-simplify niya pag-ayo. So here are the example. Okay. So, ito ang example ng 2D conceptual model. So, let's proceed to the next topic. Selection of code. Choosing the appropriate software or numerical code to simulate groundwater flow and relate processes. Popular codes include software na ModFlow and MT3DMs. So, ModFlow is for flow and MT3DMs is for contaminant transport. So, para mas masabta, no? So, ang difference ni ModFlow and MT3DMs is ModFlow is for groundwater modeling software. So it focuses on movement of the water. And MT3DMs is it focuses on the movement and behavior of dissolved contaminants within that flow. So ang MT3DMs is kauban na siya ni ModFlow para maghimo og groundwater model. So let's proceed for the next topic. Model geometry. So model geometry defines the size and the shape of the model. It consists of the model boundaries, both external and internal, and model grid. So as you can see, masabtan man din siya diri class, no? Na ang model geometry kay it defines the size and the shape of the model. So ang purpose niya is to define the structure of the area that are being studied. So let's proceed to the next one. So the next one is grid. Grid is to divide the model into cells for accurate calculations. So when you say grid, gina-represent niya ang model area and to solve the equations for each cell. So ang purpose niya is to help na represent variations in properties like permeability and recharge and apply boundary conditions and simulate groundwater flow and contaminant movement. So here are some two types of grid, finite difference grid and finite element grid. So let's proceed to the next one. Uh, Boundary array cell type. So there are three types of cell types sa boundary array. Part ka pa na siya sa grid class, which is active cell, inactive cell, and constant head cell. So when we say cell sa grid, kabalo naman mo ano, anong parallel lines na makabuo siya og square. Mo to siya ang grid cell rather. So let's start with active cell. So ang active cell is nag-represent siya sa areas where groundwater flow and transport occur and calculations are performed. So inactive cell is to represent areas outside the model domain, such as impermeable zones like bedrock, where no calculations are done. So the last one is constant head cell, represent the fixed boundary conditions where the water level remains constant and simulating features like lakes or controlled aquifers. So para mas masabta no, kung unsa na silang tulo, ang asa na sila sa grid model. So natay two types diri no. Ang finite difference grid na consist siya og atong mga square na cell and finite element grid na siya ay triangular cell. So let's start with difference grid. So we will define here active cell, inactive cell, and constant head cell. So ang active cell is, wait, this one. which is kanang mga white na blank na grid. Mao na siya. And the inactive cell is, when we say inactive cell, as you can see kanina, no, define na to siya outside the domain or the model grid. So, diriya, kay, ay, lagpas. Or, inaingon na there are no calculations involved kay tungod outside na siya sa model. And, constant head cell is the black ones nga grid, kani. Ano na fill in good sila. Pero maano na niyo sila, makita niyo sila around 110 degrees and 36 degrees na area. So, and for finite element grid, so finite element grid is like, ano na siya class? Ang active cell dria is ano, this ano, kaning triangular nga white plus na ano siya, active cell. Same lang gyapon dria. So ang inactive cell is same lang gyapon. O dria outside the domain gyapon. And for the constant head cell is near PO river and wall. Anong edge niya class. Mana siya class. Di ako na straight class pero muna siya. So, that's all class sa grid na sa boundary array na topic. Sa timanan niyo ninyo class, ang active cell is katong mga blank nga grids and ang inactive cell is kanang mga outside the domain ng white and ang constant head cell is kanang mga black na na fill in. Pero ang lahi lang diri sa element grid is kaning edge na lang siya sa banda sa edge or near PO river or the wall. So, reason sa ako class no kay para limpyo. Ilang class. Kasi isang ano, wait, proceed na lang class. So, the next one is model parameters. So, it consists hydraulic conductivity and transmissivity and effective porosity. So, explain ako sila. So, hydraulic conductivity is the most critical modeling parameter, controls how easily water flows through the ground, and transmissivity, or the storage coefficient, should be realistic and ideally based on pumping test. So, ang hydraulic conductivity is ang purpose niya class kay tungod. Ang purpose niya is to help na ma-determine mo ang rate of groundwater movement through ano pala, soil and rocks. And ang transmissivity is it quantifies the rate of groundwater or the total water flow capacity of an aquifer. So, ang next one is porosity or effective porosity. It is used in solute transport models or helps calculate groundwater flow and velocity by defining the interconnected through which water moves. So, ang porosity or effective porosity is, ang purpose niya is to indicate how much groundwater an aquifer can hold. Work same na sila, no? Pero ang kalahian niya sa transmissivity is, ang transmissivity is nag-focus siya sa total water flow capacity of an aquifer sa specific area lang. So, proceed na ta sa next one class. Initial conditions. Explain naman ako ng head cell and constant head cell. Pero basta lang ako. So, cells where groundwater flow is simulated set the hydraulic head higher than the cell bottom to ensure flow occurs. So, muna siya ang active cells initial condition. And constant head cells, boundary cells with fixed hydraulic head values used to define external conditions and control the flow into or out of the model. So, mas ma-define mo kung asa mag-flow ang flow in or magsulod ang water o asa po siya nagagawas. Siya constant head cell. Wala na nag-impel diri ang inactive cell class kay tungod there are no calculations involved class murag dili na po siya necessary na kayo. So, let's proceed to the last one topic na stresses. So, there are four types of stress sa groundwater modeling, no? So, ang pumping stress, recharge stress, geological stress, and boundary stress. So, let's start with pumping stress. The removal of groundwater from wells. When we say wells, it is human-made structures or katong hole nga ginadig sa ilalom class para maka-access ka o water nga gikan sa aquifers na na-store. And which lowers the water table or potentiometric surface and affects flow patterns. And recharge stress. The addition of water to the aquifer through precipitation or surface water infiltration, increasing groundwater levels. And for wait lang class. Sorry class. Napindot. So let's continue. So sa geological stress, changes in subsurface conditions, for example, faults, fractures, or what do you call this? Uh, ano class? Compaction. So it that can alter groundwater flow paths and storage. So for boundary stress, the influence of boundary conditions like rivers, lakes, or impermeable layers on the movement and distribution of groundwater. So ang difference aning pumping stress and ano class kaning geological stress, recharge stress, and boundary stress is ang pumping stress ang naga-cause sa iya is groundwater extraction, which is it lowers the water table and the f- and it can alter the flows of groundwater na. And for recharge stress, nag-result ana niya is water addition such as rainfall or infiltration. It adds the water level or ma-rise up niyang water level, which is naka-cause siya og stress gyapon. And geological stress, ang nag-cause siya is, ang nag-trigger siya subsurface ng mga issues such as faults, fractures, and compaction na yung ako kanina. And boundary stress, ang nag-cause siya is external boundaries pala, not internal. So, for example, river, lakes, and it could also dictate that the flow of the water or the water movement. And that's all, class. Thank you.